10 seconds to pick.
What is up, my dudes? We've got the Corporate Esports Association Dota 2 Spring 2019 tournament going on. We're in the round of 32 in the playoffs now. Although there are 21 teams, so not everyone is playing in this round, but we will see about 5 teams getting eliminated this round. So this game was from a few weeks ago now. I finally got my hands on the replay. It took me quite a few weeks to do so. So this is still on 7.21C, 7.21D, sorry. And hopefully this is the last series where we'll see Drow, because she got nerfed pretty hard in 7.22, and for good reason. This hero is pretty ridiculous in this patch, so I expect we'll see some Drows picked in this draft. And it's also a best of 3 now that we're in the playoffs, so it's going to be at least a 2-game series. Hopefully it goes to 3 games. And this draft, it's slowing down already. Normally we see this first ban phase just fly by. You know, just when you come into the draft prepared, this bit usually just goes really quickly. But it's time for the so for the silencer is a bit odd. The Invoker ban I respect. It seems like oh, sorry, we should introduce the teams first. We've got Nvidia on the Radiant side representing Nvidia, and we have usually Toasted, aka $6 million Echo Slam, representing Echo Global Logistics. So I remember in many of the games I've seen from Nvidia, they always first pick Invoker. It's kind of weird. It doesn't usually work out for them, but it seems like one of their signature heroes. So $6 million Echo Slam, doing some research on the enemy team and banning out the favorites. I think they've played a lot of Dazzle as well. And Nvidia also with some interesting bans, Venge and Silencer. I think like they're gonna go for Enigma. This seems like the most obvious play. They're also in first pick, so they can pick Enigma in the second pick and just ban Rupik afterwards. All the counters are gone. Warlock is not popular in this patch, so probably not gonna see Warlock. Earthshaker banned as well, so thinking about this first pick a lot, maybe not being able to first pick Invoker anymore. Their plan has fallen apart a little bit. Can't quite stick to your guns when they get banned out, but we'll see how Nvidia decides to go with.
Dire team are now picking.
They actually opened with Warlock. Oh, all the heroes I am dissing. This is not Warlock's patch, unfortunately. Fatal Bonds got changed from... So in this patch, it's 25% shared damage at all levels, but the number of targets that get bound go up from 3 to 6. And in the next patch, they changed it so it's the damage that scales and not the number of targets. So level 1, links to 6 targets and it does 13% damage. But if the way you play this new Warlock is you just Fatal Bonds the enemy heroes to the creep wave. I feel like you could kind of do it in this patch, but it's not that good. If you link the 2 heroes, it's like really hard to get reliable damage on them. You have to link them to like 2 melee creeps to get a similar like effective damage, but it's still way higher per Fatal Bonds at level 1. Yeah, the math is a bit complicated. But $6 million Echo Slam gonna open up with Lion, a pretty popular hero in this league I've seen. Lion feels like one of those heroes where on paper he seems like really good, but when you play him, honestly, sometimes it just feels like you feed. His cast ranges are really short for at least the Earth Spike and the Hex. And he's not very fast, and he's also very squishy. So if you're too aggressive, you can end up paying for that. And $6 million Echo Slam going with a Batter, so revealing their support duo off the bat. We're going to see the 4-position Lion, which I do prefer. I think Lion with a bit of farm makes a lot of difference. Whereas a Batter, he's just going to be a miscoil spammer, and he doesn't need to do anything this game. Doesn't need any items. But I mean, if you can get a Vlad at some point, that'd be pretty nice.
5 seconds remain.
Luckily, they do have the Warlock to kind of heal through the Mistcoil, and oh, Banner got nerfed a lot in the next patch. The cast range for Mistcoil went down from 800 to 500, which is pretty big. Ogre Magi picked for Nvidia, so probably gonna see a position 5 Ogre and position 4 Warlock. I think it makes a bit more sense to put the farm on Warlock, but at the same time, you know, you got this multicast Midas, which is pretty fun to play with as well. Could see Ogre being the position 4, getting a quick Midas. It's definitely a lot of fun. But not a whole lot of damage coming out of these supports. Maybe Ogre if he gets a bit lucky in the later levels, but we'll see what kind of build this Ogre wants to go for. If it's position 5, usually you just become a Bloodlust bot and you're not very useful for the whole game. Ignite, it does a pretty hefty amount of damage, but it's all over time, so there's no big splashy effects, right? It does do like 400 damage in total, but yeah, you get a multicast Fire Blast and it feels really nice. TA banned out for Nvidia, so maybe you gotta pick like a mid, some sort of spellcaster. TA does really well against spellcasters. Nightstalker banned out from $6 million Echo Slam. I mean, I wouldn't be too scared of like a Nightstalker Ogre lane, but again, Nightstalker's not really about the laning phase, and I mean, a Bloodlusted Nightstalker is pretty scary, so interesting. Probably we just don't really see this hero. He can feel just like a wet noodle for half the game, and then the other half of the game is a literal god. But the first half of the game is the roughest. The first 5 minutes, it really just it's so rough now. PL banned out for Nvidia, so also I noticed that $6 million Echo Slam, they've consistently banned Earthshaker every game. I'm not really sure if it's a meme or not. I mean, Earthshaker is a pretty good hero, his first pick material as well, but they're just not living up to their team name. I don't.
5 seconds. Hurry, hurry. Dire team are now picking.
I hope when $6 million Echo Slam are on the brink of elimination, they pick Earthshaker and fulfill the destiny of their team name. Alright, we're gonna see Drow banned here. Pretty standard stuff in this patch. She actually didn't get first picked. Making it all the way to the second phase. I mean, $6 million Echo Slam, they could have picked it themselves. Drow and Abaddon is a pretty tough lane to deal with, because you can't really pressure the Drow anymore. So she just gets a lot of experience and then goes to the jungle really early. And because they're the first, or second pick, sorry, they actually get the ban into the pick. So they could have banned like a Drow counter and a pick Drow. There's nothing wrong with that. Also, Undying for $6 million Echo Slam. We normally see this hero in position 5, but it's gotten pretty tough to play position 5 Undying. It used to be all about getting to level 15 and you drop a tombstone, you still start getting on a tombstone. But they moved the talent to level 20, and level 20 is very difficult to get to as a support. So
Hurry, hurry.
it's gotta be an offlane Undying, but one of the problems with offlane Undying is he doesn't farm very quickly. Maybe if you go for a max decay build, but it's still pretty slow.
I speak for the trees.
But an aura builder for their team. Nature's Prophet picked by Nvidia, so a nice ranged hero who has a pretty good base attack speed and get buffed up by the Bloodlust to take down the Tombstone. You can also use the Treants to take out the Tombstone pretty quickly, which is quite nice for them, and gives them an option to avoid team fighting, because you don't really want to fight into Undying most of the time, and being able to rat splits up the fight. So it's pretty nice. I really like this Nature's Prophet pick here. But also it's going to be an offlane Prophet, not the regular position 5 Prophet that most teams run in the pro scene. It's tough. My team has tried and position 5 NP in like practice a few times. It always doesn't go very well. It's definitely a very different style of play. $6 million Echo Snipe going with the run at you approach. It seems like they go with a Riki. A Riki. Wow. Is this gonna be a carry Riki? With the Abaddon, I mean, it's I guess it's okay. None of these heroes can really protect themselves against Riki. They're all pretty susceptible to him. You're gonna have to see some quick force staffs come out.
10 seconds.
I mean, that is a big problem with like carry Riki,
5
is that
seconds remain.
they just force staff away, and then it's like, well, fuck, I'm a useless hero with no lockdown. But this is quite the X factor here. I'm pretty excited to see how this goes. It's pretty good against these three heroes, honestly, and farmed Riki is going to be quite the menace.
Dire's ban.
And they go with Spectre. Oh, I love this. It's so difficult to kill the Spectre with Riki. Just, ah. And I don't know if they changed it. It used to be the case where like, maybe it is still the case. Radiance reveals invisible units. Like you see the like Radiance burn, but you don't really see the unit.
5 seconds. Hurry, hurry.
And you also get this with Spectral Dagger.
Radiance ban.
That being said, I could see Riki balling out of control pretty early on, because I don't think he gets the Radiance Miss debuff during the Tricks of the Trade, so definitely an opportunity to take out the Spectre there. But at a certain point, this Spectre is not gonna really die. They only have the Lion for lockdown right now, so not gonna be able to keep her in place for that long. Riki is definitely gonna need a basher this game. Storm Spirit banned out by Nvidia. I do like this one a lot, because Storm and Riki, you know, they get the pocket Riki with the Storm Spirit is pretty scary, but also just the catch potential is incredible, right? So Nvidia, they probably want to look for a pretty tanky mid as well, someone who's pretty hard to jump. Hurry, I could see DK being the case, but probably want someone who also builds into a force staff pretty naturally. Maybe OD could be pretty good. You can definitely drop the hammer on Riki and instantly blow him up. They probably want another range hero who has pretty decent attack speed to be able to hit the tombstone. So I feel like OD could be okay, but you don't really want to like waste right clicks on OD on the tombstone. You want to be smacking. So they go with Sniper instead. Natural 4-star buyer, no Hurricane Pike buyer. So once he gets it, it's going to be a lot harder for the Riki to kill the Sniper. But still pretty scary. Sniper's not. He has a pretty decent amount of armor as well, but just the move speed and his HP pool is so low. And Pangoli to finish off the draft. What an interesting draft coming out of $6 million Echo Snipe. But I think I really like this Pangoli. It gives them that like team fight and lockdown that they really need. Yeah, I mean, it's a quite an interesting draft. A lot of mobility as well, so you can always catch the Sniper, the Spectre, the Nature's Prophet. You can clear the treants pretty quickly as well with the Pango. So I think it's going to be a mid Pango and carry Riki. I mean, I gotta favor Nvidia because they have the late game, and what tends to happen with like lower level games is they go long because the teams don't quite know how to finish them. Not trying to like throw too much shade on these teams, but I mean, there's somewhat of a reason they're in the playing in this round of 32. But I would like to see this draft from 6 million Echo Slam work. I think it's going to be pretty sick if it does. We got Mr. NP representing the forest. He's also an MP spammer himself. All of the duels. Whereas Ricky, this guy, has he ever played Ricky before? Although 18, 10, and 27 on his last match is pretty nice. But no Ricky Dota Plus duels. Anyway, let's introduce the teams on the side of Nvidia. We've got Kragonaut on the sniper. Yikes, I don't even know how to... 539 on the Nature's Prophet. Virgil Fan is in Barma on the Ogre Magi. Wim Zaman on the Warlock, and Phantomo Lancera on the Spectre. Oh, that was really difficult. On the side of $6 million Echo Slam, we got Brixton on the Pangalee, Squid Lips on the Undying, Prancing Pony on the Ricky, Fluffy Bunny on the Lion, and Jams on the Abaddon. And Jams already starting to beat his drums. So gonna bait in the enemy team. And one of the games I played recently, I found out you couldn't attack the enemy drums, so we went to attack him pretty much where it was there, and then we got baited into a first blood, and oh my god, that was really bad. And now using the snake to taunt, you know, top effort from these two players, Squid Lips and Jams. And the drums come out from Wim Zaman as well. So Nature's Prophet bullying out the Lion completely from this rune, but it looks like Ricky will be able to just secure the other one. So probably should have just sent the Ogre back, but it's still pretty hard to get the bounty rune against the Ricky. And Lion, he might actually die here. He's getting really low. There's no boost on the Nature's Prophet, but he's... oh, they're both the same speed. So this Lion will be able to get away. And Prophet just TPs into this. And I love this. Going Blightstone first on Nature's Prophet. It's definitely the way to go. This guy hits so hard. 61 damage for a range hero with a pretty good attack range and attack speed as well. So it seems like they finally figured out that Ricky's top and dropped a sentry here. But carry Ricky, we don't see this hero very often, but probably if you want to take over the game, this is the position to do it from. He definitely needs to get a good start and just kind of snowball a little bit with the... oh no, Fluffy Bunny, he lost the sentry wall. This is actually really bad for the Ricky, because now he's gonna get harassed every time he comes in. Ricky's not a very durable hero, 560 HP, and he's not very fast either. So nice sentry placement from Nvidia, just hiding in the trees. It's pretty hard to see where it is. You need to push them out before you can go get it, but against Nature's Prophet, he can always spam the wave in. Nice double ignite as well. Mid lane, we've got Sniper versus Pango. Pango mid is definitely seen an uprising since they increased his base damage by like 6 or something. So now he's actually quite viable in the mid lane. Before his last hit damage was kind of low. Sniper has this issue as well, but he's also got headshot, so you can like RNG your way through the laning phase. Also digging up an old pair of bits. Some of these, this whole digging thing is like a pay to lose thing, but it's fun. You can like get a stasis trap, and then it actually like is a full stasis trap, and you can lose the game for your team if you dig one up during a team fight. Oh, bot lane, Abaddon actually goes down. He wasn't able to deny himself. He actually doesn't put any points in the Mist Coil at all. This is not really the way you're supposed to play Abaddon anymore. Actually, okay, it kind of looks like this is an off-lane Abaddon. He bought a Blades of Attack at level 1. He's also not TPing back to lane, which is very odd. Definitely a few question marks here. So I think it is an off-lane Abaddon, but why is he not TPing to the lane? Seems like a lot of wasted time. Now, like, the enemy team, they're almost a full level ahead of him. And Undying, he didn't even get much out of it. Fatal Bonds. Yeah, so this is what you have to do in the next patch, but it's a lot easier because you use Fatal Bonds the whole wave. Spectre, feeling the heat a little bit, but he's going to be okay. Already a point in Dispersion, so... Oh, this tooltip is pretty wrong. I think it's supposed to be 10% at level 1. But the tooltips always show the latest patch instead of what the replay is actually playing at. So it's some fake news right there. And everyone on the side of Radiant topping the last hit chart. So it's already a 1k gold advantage for Nvidia. The spec might start feeling a bit of pressure soon. Actually, 2 points in decay. I feel like the build is usually like 1 point in decay and then 2 points in tombstone. The level 2 tombstone is like really the power spike for Undying. Decay, it doesn't really get much stronger. The cooldown goes down a bit, but like it's nothing significant. Nice 2-man decay again. But Warlock, he's one of the tankier supports actually. He's got a lot of strength for int support. It's more than the spec. Even more than a Batten. He's got a this boy's tanky. Another mango popped by Undying. Spectre's getting pretty low, 540 HP, so gotta be a bit careful. But they're doing an okay job of not getting double decaying. That's when Undyings can really snowball out of control. Top lane, the Lion getting really low. There's not much that the Riki can do to protect him here. It's an 8 armor hero, and Nature's Prophet will finish him off. Bounty runes are up, and it looks like oh, Nature's Prophet, he TP's in for the rune. He's managed to snatch it under the nose of Prancing Pony, and I don't think Prancing Pony has noticed that NP went ahead and took him, and he's losing a lot of farm over this. This is the position 1. He needs to stay in the lane. It's not worth it for this like 5-10 minute bounty runes for the carry to leave the lane.
No.
So, interesting silence happening there. But NP's back from his journey to get the bounty runes. It took him a while though. I think he went to Shrine Up, so... And Sniper dominating this Pango pretty hard. Pango's got a good down here. Alright. And nice easy solo kill for the Sniper, just staying in the shrapnel for too long.
Have fortified their towers.
And Pango, he just barely hit level 6, but probably wasn't going to be able to get into the Rolling Thunder in time. Right. Sprout on the Riki won't achieve very much, but he's completely out of mana now. Riki should be trying to look to farm these treants while the he's not getting any of them. Alright, mid lane, a big rotation coming in, but these supports don't really have any lockdown. I'm not really sure how they're going to get this kill. Pango Lee has to be the one to go in first, because now Sniper's on the run. The Tombstone comes out, Pango Lee's going to commit his ultimate, the Rolling Thunder comes through, he misses the shield crash onto the Sniper, but he'll be able to finish him off anyway. Warlock's TP'd in, and he might have TP'd into his death here. Another Swashbuckle comes out, and the Warlock will go down as well. Pretty good rotation for $6 million Echo Slam. Actually, I think the shield crash did end up hitting. It looked like it was pretty close. Pango with the javelin into bottle, or bottle into javelin. No boots, don't really need it in this lane. But probably what led to his death recently, because well, he's just taking a lot of shrapnel damage as well. Lost about almost half his health. And Batten also with the no boots, chainmail, blades of attack. But Spectre, she can't really come in up to the lane to get last hits right now. Not by herself, but Warlock's coming back. And And Lion and Riki also in trouble again. This Ogre is pretty unkillable at this point. So tanky. Stout Shield as well. And Boots. Dude, this Lion has been getting bullied by this NP all game long. Fluffy Bunny having a pretty rough time. He can go get this last hit, he should go there. It's free money, but not turning around for it. Alright, well Ogre will actually go down. Nice rotation from the Pango, but he had to use Rolling Thunder for that and just support Ogre. NP with a Midas now, so this is pretty old school, I guess. When you used to see those jungling NPs, the Wrath of Nature comes through and almost takes out the Undying, but no one here is going to be able to kill the Undying. Spectre does not do enough damage, although 3 points in the Spectral Dagger, probably the best bet right now. There's no way the Shadow Word is ever going to kill the Undying. Pango gets regen runes. That's pretty fortuitous for him. Should use the Swashbuckle to clear the wave and keep the regen rune. Oh, there you go. So Sniper, gonna go for a Maelstrom first. I like this a lot. Also, he's going for the Wet Noodle build, as I've started calling it. No points, only 1 point in the headshot. Headshot is definitely where the majority of Sniper's damage comes from, but he's going for a Maelstrom, so I can sort of forgive him this time because the Maelstrom's going to make up for that. It's the people who go for Dragon Lance and in this build. So Pango unable to get the return hit on the bounce because the NP was too close to the wall, but he actually stops and attacks the NP. So unless a Pangoli would probably not have the experience to do that. I know I probably wouldn't. I'm not very good at Pangoli. Squidlips, he's quite low, and he gets Wrath of Nature. The Aphotic Shield will help him survive a little bit, but just one more spell from the Abaddon will help him, but he gets taken out by a Spectral Dagger. The Tombstone will go down as well. Squidlips staying on really low HP and getting sniped by the Nature's Prophet ulti. Nice TP in from the Nature's Prophet as well. He's got the Blightstone to help push this tower. But Undying's back, he doesn't have Tombstone, which is going to be a pretty big deal for him. But I may do $6 million Echo Slam want to defend. This is going to be pretty tough. The Chaos Golem comes out. The Undying, he's trapped in the trees and he's got to go down again. That's now. Oh, I don't really know who's the offlaner here. Alright, Pangoli with a Swashbuckle, Rolling Thunder. He's got to go for no one. He doesn't manage to clip anyone. He finally hits the Warlock, but this ulti's over. They just get the Warlock. They could have gone for the Nature's Prophet or the Spectre, but they ended up getting the Warlock instead. So, probably not the best deal there. Lost the Undying for it as well. And the Lion will go down to the Golem. Abaddon also taking a big chunk of damage from the Golem. They don't really have a way to take down this Golem right now. It's pretty scary for them. And the Golem, it's finally gonna go down, but he needs to stay like 10 more seconds. The Swashbuckle will finish it off. And top lane is gonna get taken by the Nature's Prophet. Just doing Nature's Prophet things. This Riki has not had a good start at all. He's really far behind any of the other cores. Even the Warlock is like almost ahead of him. The Warlock is ahead of him. Well, this was for a little bit, but he dropped some wards, so his net worth went down. So, testament to how bad this Riki lane's gone. And Abaddon and Undying, it seems like they were sharing the farm at bot. It's also kind of interesting. I feel like maybe they could have given the farm to Abaddon, and then he could have gone for he's gonna go for a Vlad's and maybe into like a fast. Well, fast is in quotation marks, but I mean, it would be nice if he could manage to get his way up to a Radiance, but I don't think it's going to be a really long time before that happens. He'll shield off the Shadow Word. Lion, no boots at 13 minutes. We all know this feeling as a support player. Only just now queues up the boots. He's thinking he'll finally get the money for it at some point. And Riki just, he's super poor. He needs levels as well. This Lion should leave him alone. And he's only level 5, even though it's like past 10 minutes. Although in this patch there's only one Tome of Knowledge, and they probably gave it to another hero. A nice kill from Rixton. He gets the Ogre, and it looks like the Warlock might go down as well. The Swashbuckle's up in 2 seconds. He's gonna get the hit on the Swashbuckle, but not quite gonna be able to get the shield crash. The Assassinate comes out, and Pengli, he's getting really low. He bottles up, but will end up going down to the Sniper here. Nice Maelstrom proc as well. Sniper gonna go for the Dragon Lance now.
Radiant's top tower is being attacked.
Spectre's TP top. This might be an opportunity to get them. If the Lion gets level 6, they could definitely kill this Spec. She's only got 2 points in the Dispersion. Gonna go for a Radiance first. Not feeling pressured too hard this game. Undying and Abaddon. Doesn't feel like they pressured her too hard. You can always just like Spectral Dagger out of there, right? They don't have much catch, which makes it not a very strong lane for kills. Another Wrath of Nature comes out. It's 4 heroes. Swashbuckle on and Shield Crash onto the Warlock, but they might commit for this. Shrapnel comes out. The Rolling Thunder as well. The Chaos Golem will stop it for a little bit. Haunt comes out. The Pango doing a lot of damage to the Sniper. Sniper has a haste though. He's not going to be able to make it. I get shield crash to death. Rixton, he's got another Swashbuckle. He needs to get away from this Golem, and he does do that, but he's in a lot of danger. Nature's Prophet, one more hit will finish him off. The Spectral Dagger will finish off the Pengli. I mean, meanwhile, the Nature's Prophet goes down here. This Abaddon, he's actually quite the menace here. You should probably use the Aphotic Shield to get rid of the Ignite, because the Ignite's slowing him down by quite a lot. He pops the Abaddon ulti through the dot damage, but now they're in a lot of trouble. There's not much damage left. The trade isn't up for 12 seconds. Undying's back, but looks like she's got to disengage. And Riki, he actually did a pretty decent amount of damage there. Yeah, almost 2,000. 2,100 by the Pengli. Pengli did a lot of work, managing to take out the Sniper. He almost got away with a haste rune, but not quite able to get out of range of the shield crash. Double damage at bot, but no one spots it right now. Pango with another Swashbuckle onto the Sniper. This isn't 7.22 unfortunately, so not going to see an Ags on the Pango. Also notably, his Lucky Shot still silences in this patch. That got taken away. It only disarms in the next patch now. Still, it's still pretty nice to have a disarm without needing to buy a halberd. Riki, he's pretty close to his Diffusal Blade now, just the recipe away. And it's gonna start getting pretty scary for this Warlock. Hey, he's got a Glimmer Cape queued up. He's almost got it actually, but it's not really gonna help him against the Riki if Riki brings Dust with him. Not really sure if he's gonna be able to kill the Ogre yet. With just the Diffusal Blade, he probably needs one more item before he can take out the Ogre, or at least like a couple more levels. But the Sniper's gonna feel a lot of pain from this Riki once he gets the Diffusal Blade. But Sniper, he it's just a recipe away from Hurricane Pike. It's got the Force Staff, which is the important part. So it's going to be even harder to kill the Sniper this time. He just barely didn't die last time, although that was with a haste rune. And Spec, he's got his relic now, so on track to get a pretty decently timed Radiance. And also, I didn't even realize, but not video, they're 9k gold ahead, so pulling pretty far ahead in the laning phase. Riki doesn't quite have his Diffusal Blade yet. Dust comes out, the Ogre won't get a multicast, but another Fire Blast will probably finish him off. He's gonna have to blink to the creeps, but not able to get out in time. He looks like he's gonna go down here. Oh no! The dust ran out, but the double dust will finish him off.
Make a fine humus.
Nice rotation for the Nature's Prophet. I think the Warlock's one was kind of out of range, so maybe he would have gotten away if the Nature's Prophet didn't come in. But 3 dusts committed though, that's 270 gold. And he only gave 270 gold away. Or to the Nature's Prophet at least. So you know, it's almost worth it for them. Pango gonna go for a Basher. I think it makes sense because you're a mid Pango and not an off lane Pango, so maybe don't go for the Greaves yet. But someone's gonna have to go Greaves at some point. Looks like Undying's going for it, but it's gonna take him a long time to farm this up. Greaves is a pretty expensive item, and Jams is going for a Radiance, as I expected he would, but it's gonna be very, very slow. Spec pretty much has her Radiance, and it's only about a fifth of the way there. Riki, he's so close to Diffusal. He's missing last hits on the range creep, which is actually a pretty big deal. And Nature's Prophet is here. He doesn't have any backup, so probably won't be able to get this kill on the Riki. It's gonna work towards an Orchid. Interesting. It's pretty nice. You can silence the Pango while he's doing the rolling up animation, which is pretty annoying to deal with.
The seeds of fortune.
20-minute bounty is gonna be 2 for 2.
Dire's middle tower is being attacked.
Oh, actually, no, it's 3 for 1. Nature's Prophet being able to grab both at top.
Invisibility.
So Bash is almost done. It actually is done on the Pango. And Praising Pony, he's got his Diffusal Blade now, so this is a pretty strong timing for $6 million Echo Slam. Nature's Prophet, he's in a pretty vulnerable position, but he has a Shadow Blade, and I don't think there's any detection. The Lion has a Sentry, but no dust, so if the Nature's Prophet gets knocked out of the Sentry range by the Rolling Thunder, that's definitely like a throw. You gotta throw the game moment. And Nature's Prophet just doing Nature's Prophet thing. TP still in lane. He's got his Midas off cooldown as well.
Warriors of the wood.
And really the only person who can deal with NP right now is Pango. But once the NP gets his full Orchid, it's going to be pretty tough for him. Maybe he should look to go for a Yules. Pango, he smoke breaks, he sees the Ogre, or Ogre sees him. Nice multicast on the Pango. Rolling Thunder's got to come out, but this is a pretty tight error. He goes straight for the Sniper, but it's going to be pretty hard for them to get more rotations. And the Sniper's going to go down to the tricks of the trade here. Meanwhile, the Spectre finishes off the Lion and the Undying. And Riki, he's in a lot of trouble now. He gets the kill on the Ogre, but now Riki's going to burn to the Radiance. Jams is going to go down as well. It's just the Pango left. He gets a nice swashbuckle to finish off the Nature's Prophet, but he's going to go down. 5 for 3 trade in favor of Nvidia. It's actually a pretty even gold exchange because of how far behind they actually came out ahead in gold. But the important thing is the Spectre survived. She's level 15 now, so it's got the Spectral Dagger cooldown talent. It's going to be really hard to catch her now.
Dire's middle tower is being attacked.
I mean, they did a pretty decent amount of damage. They went straight on the Sniper, and he went down before being able to do any damage. That was a nice play for them. Nature's Prophet also kind of got greedy. He probably should have just kept split pushing. They didn't really need him that fight. But it was the Spectre Radiance reveal with the Haunt.
Under fire.
Absolutely devastating. The Undying and the Lion probably got instantly blown up. Lion with 0 Figure of Death stacks at 22 minutes. He's still only level 7 as well. Fluffy Bunny having a really bad game. Rixen, he gets sprouted, but he's gonna be okay. He will have to Rolling Thunder away. Like he probably could have just walked away, but he was also ignited, so maybe it would have been pretty tough for him to get away. It's a pretty short cooldown, it's only 70 seconds, so it's not too bad. Ogre gonna go for his Vlad's for his team, so just a nice extra armor for the sniper and the lifestealer as well. Sniper gonna go for a butterfly next, so he doesn't feel like he needs a BKB, and he probably don't, honestly. It's just the Lion, but Lion, he's not even thinking about a blink this game. There's no way he's gonna get close to the sniper. So it's just the Pango, and sure, having the BKB against the Rolling Thunder is nice, but you can, I don't know, I feel like you can usually just like outrun it or sidestep it. Nature's Prophet gets a solo kill on the Undying. It's a pretty easy kill for him, and probably his Orchid reveal as well. Undying's pretty close to the mech, but the Greaves still very far away.
Dire's top tower is under siege.
Ricky's gonna go for a Yasha now. Maybe gonna go for a Manta so he can purge off any dusts. But I mean, there's dust on only 2 heroes right now.
Dire's middle tower taking damage.
You can hope they are pretty inefficient, use both their dust, and while it's on cooldown, you purge yourself. Sniper, he's gonna get blown up here. The Pangoli Rolling Thunder comes out, and Sniper will instantly get blown up before he's able to do anything. Haunt comes out from the Spectre. It looks like Spec, she's jumped back into the fight. I'm not really sure where Spec is, but she's kind of caught out by herself, but it looks like she's going to be able to burn down the enemy team completely, except Prancing Pony, he's going to be able to finish off the Spectre. The Golem will end up finishing off the Pangolier, so Ricky going to be the lone survivor for his team. But they get the Spectre and the Sniper, so 2 huge kills. Unfortunately, they're still going to probably lose this tower, because they're pretty far behind, so being able to kill the Spec and the Sniper even though you're 17k gold behind, I would say that's pretty monumental.
Middle tower taking damage.
I mean, and they started the fight off pretty well. They just weren't quite able to burst the Sniper fast enough,
Tower is being attacked.
and then the Trick of the Trade ran out and they had nothing left for the Spectre.
Dire's middle tower has fallen.
Ricky gonna go for a Basher next, just to be able to lock people down a bit more. Also, Basher does a lot of damage.
Come.
Ags next on the Warlock. This is not 7.22 Ags, so there's no delay between the Chaos Golems dropping. It's actually so sick. I love that change. It really feels like it's a multicast, right? Pango with a finished Basher now. We'll see what he wants to go for next. I'm not really sure what the next choice for him is. He kind of needs like a item to tank up. He could go for... I mean, he could go for an Abyssal Blade. He gets a little bit of health from that. I don't know. I feel like this... An Axe isn't really an option this game because he doesn't have an Axe in this version of the game. So he could go MKB if he wants to double down, or Diffusal Blade if he wants to double down on the damage. But he's pretty squishy right now. He has to rely on getting huge shield crashes to stay alive. He's gonna go for an MKB, so that or the Diffusal are the big damage options. I like Diffusal a bit better because it's got the utility of the slow, and also being able to burn mana is like generally underappreciated. And it's not that much less, right? If you think about the MKB, it's a 75% chance to do 100 damage. So in the Swashbuckle, because everything's pseudo random in Dota now, you will basically get 3 procs most of the time. So let's say you have an average of 300 bonus damage on the Swashbuckle, and the Diffusal Blade, it adds I think it's 50 per hit, 50 mana burn per hit, which means it does about 40 extra damage per hit. So 160, it's about half the damage of an MKB, but you also get the mana burn, you get the slow as well. That being said, you can also get lucky on the MKB and get the full 400 extra damage, which is pretty sweet as well.
Regeneration!
Radiant's bottom tower is being attacked.
But they're not saving for buyback on the side of $6 million XNM. I kind of get it, and they probably feel like they're very far behind. But like, when you're behind, you can't really. Sometimes you like just need to go all in and for the damage, because otherwise you'll die, and you'll buy back, and then you end up dying again. You still don't do enough damage to kill anyone. Whereas if you buy out your items, you might have a chance to turn the fight around at least. Like in that previous fight, the Spectre and the Sniper went down, even though they got wipes mostly. That's still a win for them. Nature's Prophet gonna go for a Deso next, wants to be able to push a little bit faster. And other than the Riki, I mean, no one else really has that much armor on the side of $6 million XM. They're gonna go for a smoke now. They see the Sniper, they can definitely go for him. We'll see how they want to look to make this approach. Sniper, he's heading towards the jungle. They spot the jungle, the smoke pops. They see the abandoned first. Lion, he's not able to get anything, a stun or a hex in range, and he's going to get instantly burned up. Aeon Disc on the Sniper will be able to save him. He actually didn't go for a butterfly, so it looks like he's still going to die anyway. But he's able to get a lot more damage out before he goes down. The Tricks of the Trade not quite able to finish him up. Abandoned, trapped in the trees, he gets sprouted. Arteezy's worst nightmare, and he will end up going down here. Riki, he gets dusted up. He's going to go for the Nature's Prophet, but he's orchid up. He's going to go down as well. And Undying going to also drop. So just the Pango alive. They get 3. They also get the Sniper, Spectre, and Nature's Prophet do manage to stay alive. But Pango, he got a lot of gold out of that actually. He not like last time I looked at his inventory, it was only at 500 gold. Now he's suddenly at 1800. And it was a gold advantage, gold exchange advantage for the side of $6 million Echo Slam. So they comeback mechanics coming in a little bit. But that fight was still pretty rough. They weren't quite able to kill the Sniper. They're not expecting the Aeon Disc. Lion, he wasn't able to get in range for a Hex or a Earth Spike. Not even with Tranquil Boots yet.
Amazing what you found laying around.
MKB is done on the Pango already, so he's gonna start clearing these waves in one hit with the Swashbuckle. He's gonna go back for the Abyssal Blade now, so try to take up a little bit with the Abyssal Blade. He also picks up the plus 20 Strength talent instead of the plus 40 Swashbuckle damage. I guess he probably realizes that he already has a lot of damage on with the MKB, maybe needs to tank up a little bit. It's pretty interesting, but you also went for the Swashbuckle range instead of mana regen, so I feel like if you go for one of the Swashbuckle talents, you should go for both, just to like double down on it a little bit. But I can respect that you went for the 20 strength. It does need some survivability. He's gonna go for a BKB next, actually. Just wanting to stay alive outside of the Rolling Thunder, because after the Rolling Thunder ends, it's pretty squishy, as I've been mentioning. Now the BKB won't really help him that much against the Sniper, because Sniper is all physical damage, but it's nice to not get stunned. This Aeon Disc already paying off for the Sniper. He delayed his death but significantly last fight. He ended up going down anyway, but after the butterfly it's going to be even harder to kill him. Maybe he should pick up the Talisman of Evasion now. Actually, he switches it up for a Skadi, so he just wants the raw stats. That also works too. Also helps him slow down spell immune targets, such as I don't think it works against Pango. I don't think he can get slowed during the Rolling Thunder. Maybe. Gotta try it out. Try it out with like Shadow Demon, see if you get slowed by the Purge. So Ricky with the Basher done now, gonna go back for an S and Y. I probably would like to see Manta just so he can, you know, purge off the dust. Don't see a gem on anyone's quick buy right now. Warlock is about one component away from his ag, so it's going to be a pretty big pickup for him. Also, level 3, it's level 3 ulti now. These golems do so much damage. They've been struggling all game long to take out these golems, and it's only going to get worse. He's on his way to level 20 as well. They're going to spot the Spectre here. Do they have the damage to finish off Spectre? The Horde comes out, but everyone's here. Rolling Thunder through Spectre. He can reality to another target, but he's managed to stay here. Finger of Death will come out onto the Spectre. It actually reflects a lot of damage back onto the Lion. Spectre will be the first one to go down here, or other than the Lion. Spectre will eventually go down here, but the Golem is doing so much damage. Nice 2 minutes swashbuckle from the Pangolier. He'll get the Nature's Prophet as well. And Sniper, he's doing a ton of damage here. He takes out the Ricky. There's not much damage left. And the Sniper, he's got his Aeon Disc props. Warlock, he might go down here. The shield crash will finish him off, but he got level 20 during that fight, so he's got the Death Golem as well. And it's just Pango versus Sniper, and Sniper's gonna win this fight. Even though he's disarmed, he goes down to the Golem. An ultra kill for Krakenaut. Smaddy up and killing everyone. He's got to go for a Satanic, so changing his mind a lot, but he just understands he needs to take up. Pick between the 3 options: Butterfly, Skadi, and Satanic. I think Heart is like probably just not very good on Sniper. You need to like get damage as well with your tankability items, like these hybrid items, maybe AC. But the Reaver, the Satanic, provides him with a lot of health, so it's pretty good.
Dire's bottom tower is being attacked.
So they managed to take out the Spectre early on. A nice smoke into Swashbuckle combo took out the NP pretty soon after, but Sniper, he just was the king of the hill. He destroyed everyone, just gunning away at the Ricky, so he couldn't do anything, couldn't blink on top of him, and then finishing off everyone else next.
Selfish.
I bet there was a lot of screaming on the comms during that fight. It was quite wild.
And again?
Ogre's gonna go for an 8th Lens, trying to get that extra cast range on his spells, because his spells are pretty short range. Well, Ignite's pretty long, but Fire Blast is not. Nature's Prophet, he's gonna look for the Ricky. He breaks the Ricky, so he can't go invisible. He's gonna get taken down. Oh no! Disaster. And he gets the tip as well. That's your position 1 getting killed in like 3 seconds. No, he needs to get a Manta to get rid of like this Bloodthorn. And I'm not sure if you can dispel the break. I'm pretty sure you can, but it's not clear. Heart finished on the Spectre as well, so the heroes on video, they're so tanky now. Satanic on the Sniper, Heart on the Spectre, and even this Nature's Prophet, he's got a pretty decent chunk of HP himself. 18 armor,
Dire's middle tower is being attacked.
so 10 armor talent. Interesting, we almost never see this one actually. It's usually the +4 treant, and he instantly takes out the Abaddon as well. Abaddon, he gets silenced and broken, so he can't turn on Borrowed Time.
Come to me.
539, he's just walking around slaying people. That's just his job now. No more is he the rat who hides in the corner, but the man who picks the +10 armor talent instead of getting the +4 treants. This boy wants to fight. And he's got a solo Roche as well, why not? It doesn't have the treants, but super long sprout duration. Yeah, it's just so sad for the Roche. And it's not a whole lot that $6 million Echo Slam can do to contest this. So they're gonna give it to
Have a lot to teach one another.
Sniper.
About life, death,
Yeah, they're gonna give it to
love,
Sniper. But he has an Aeon Disc.
getting to come back and
It's pretty hard to kill him.
your mate.
Maybe he should, I mean, after he picks up his next item, what he can do is, put the Aeon Disc in the backpack, and then when he dies, he can move the Aeon Disc into his inventory, and by the time he respawns, the Aeon Disc should, come off cooldown. Mostly. That's certainly gonna make him really hard to kill. I honestly would put the ultimate orb in the back. Although 300 mana and 300 health is not too bad, I guess. He's got to chip away from the tower from the low guy. He's actually doing quite a bit of damage. He's got the double damage. He's finally run out. Rolling Thunder comes out, blink onto the Sniper, but they didn't get the stun on him. He jumped right over him with the shield crash. And Sniper, he'll just be able to walk out of there, and $6 million Echo Slam, they're screwed. They let the Sniper get away from the gank, and now he's just gonna kill everyone. Rixton, he's getting stunned by the Ogre. Ricky, he's on top of the Sniper now. The Sniper, he's gonna go down, he's gonna lose his first life here. But everyone's really low now. Sniper, he's gonna come back to life. Pango will blink out. Sniper, Ricky breaks back on top of the Sniper. They don't have detection anymore. GG is called the, oh. GG is called as Pango buys back, which is kind of odd. But looks like they're gonna lose here, and I mean, it was an interesting draft from Nvidia, but they kind of got crushed in the laning stage a little bit too hard. Maybe getting outclassed a little bit in the laning phase, and Nvidia will take the victory. And we'll see how $6 million Echo Slam can come back in game number 2.